I believe that you guys reject the prophets. You have been lied to. That yeah, accepts all the prophets. You follow them, but that's false. You reject all of them, including Jesus.
Where do you get this claim?
Well, I get it from reading the Torah and the Injil and the Psalms, reading the books of the prophets.
And how do you get it from reading the Torah? Because
Yeah,
the Torah.
say that again.
I said, how do you get this claim from reading the Torah? Because I read the Torah. I read the Bible.
Oh, perfect, perfect. So, according to the Torah speaks of this messianic figure who will save the people from their sins, and it also talks about God having sons, children. Do you affirm
Okay, you
that?
said a Messiah that's gonna be sent.
Yeah, a messianic figure or savior that will save other people from their sins.
Where does it say that? Because the Torah mentions clearly that no one's sins accounted for anyone, and no one dies for anybody's sins.
Well, yeah, it mentions like no sinner should be taken, can take away some other sinner's sins. Of course.
Okay, then how are you gonna tell me the Torah mentions somebody died for? Why don't okay? If you believe that, why don't Jews believe that people die? Jesus died for their sins because they believe in the Torah too.
No, you have some Jews who believe it, and you have some
No, you don't.
what messianic Jews. They believe that.
They believe in Jesus
Of
died for
course.
their sins.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
They're out
yeah.
there, man. So,
No, I don't. I don't. No, I don't believe it.
well,
But go ahead.
uh,
Where's this claim? Go ahead.
right. So, Isaiah 53, for example, it teaches that like this, there will be someone who will take away the sins of the people, and of course,
Can you
that's
show
what.
me this verse? Because I
Yeah.
read the Bible.
So let's start on verse 6. Isaiah 53, just actually the whole chapter is kind of beautiful here. So just pull up Isaiah 53 real quick, and we're going to kind of zoom through it. Are you there? Because I want you to kind of read it for me. I will stick it in your head.
Go ahead.
Hmm?
You can read it.
Well, you don't want to read it?
No, I'm good. You could go ahead.
All right. All right. So let's start on verse. Actually, I can start on verse 1, but let's start on verse 3. Actually, you know what? Let's start on verse 1. This is all beautiful. It says, who have believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord has been revealed. He grew up before him like a tender shoot and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain, like one from whom people hide their faces, and he was despised and held him low esteem. Pay attention to verse 4.
I'm listening.
Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we consider him punished by God, stricken by him, and afflicted, but he was pierced or pierced for our transgressions. He was crucified. I say crucified. He was crushed. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
Yeah.
He was crushed for our iniquity. Do you know what iniquity is?
Yep. Keep going.
Do you know what iniquity is?
Yes, I do.
What is iniquity?
Keep going. I know what iniquity means.
What is it? What does it mean?
Keep going.
What is
I'm listening.
transgression?
Keep going.
I know you are. I just want to make sure we're understanding. What is transgression?
Transgressions, the sins that they've caused, or the problems that they've caused.
Okay, what about iniquity? What is iniquity?
Oh, we're gonna get into the defining words. Or we're gonna get to the point?
It's also sins. I don't want this to pass over you. I actually want you to get this. So I
I
might
know.
read verse 5, but he was pierced for our transgression. He was crushed for our iniquity, and the punishment that brought us peace was on him. And by his wounds we are healed. We all like sheep having gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all, or the sins of us all. What do you think
Okay.
of that?
That's funny thing you mentioned it because I have notes on it. Actually, I read this the other
Okay,
day. You know who do you think is talking about here? You think it's talking about Jesus?
of course.
Okay, did you read the other chapters,
Mm-hmm.
44 and 49?
Mm-hmm.
Who was it talking about? Was it talking about Jesus as well? Because this whole chapter is talking about the what you call it, the one that you think who's talking about.
So who do you think he's talking about then?
I think it's talking about the Israelites, Israel people.
What? Did Israel die for the sins of Israel?
The Israel, it doesn't mention anything about dying for anyone's sins.
We just read it, verse 5 to 6. I thought he was listening, man. What the heck? You want me to
I'm
read it again?
listening. I'm just saying the whole. You start from chapter 44 in Isaiah. It's not talking about Jesus.
So you
It's
said that
talking
this is
about the
about
same thing.
Israel?
Yes, it is.
So Israel died for Israel?
Yup.
Make that make sense to me. Wait, I don't understand. Make sense
You
to me.
don't understand it?
No.
Uh,
How did Israel die for Israel?
I'm saying the whole chapter. You start from chapter 44. It leads up to chapter 53.
I know.
It's talking about the same thing.
I know. Give me a verse. Give me a verse that makes you think that Israel died for the sins of Israel.
All right, you can start reading from chapter 44.
I'm not reading the whole thing.
You don't have to read the whole thing.
Give me a verse. Give me a specific verse.
Okay. Mm. 45:21.
Can you read it since you're already there? Or
45:21.
all right. Can you read it? By the way, you muted. I don't know if you're reading it. You muted. Just give him a chance, guys. Maybe he's looking it up. Whatever he's doing, give him a chance. He's gone. Come on, man. We're just on a good spot. He's literally just gone. What the heck? Okay. All right. All right. We was on a beautiful spot, man. Hello.
How you doing, man? What's up?
I'm good. Are you Muslim?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So you guys reject the prophets, and then yeah, I believe that you reject all the prophets that came before you, your Muhammad, your so-called Muhammad prophet, and you have been told a lie that you follow all the prophets.
I've been told a lie to follow all the prophets.
That you believe you were told that you believe in all the prophets, but that's false.
Do you not believe in all the prophets?
I do, but you don't, right?
I do believe in all the prophets. Where does it say to not believe in all the prophets?
No, a matter of fact, that the Quran tells you to believe in all the prophets. So here's a question for you: can you believe in someone?
Sorry, you said that the Quran said that we shouldn't believe in all the prophets.
It says that you should.
Oh, he says that you should.
Yeah, that's what the Quran says.
So why are you saying that I don't believe in all the prophets?
Because you reject their teachings, what they taught, what they stood for.
I don't reject any of the teachings of the prophets. I don't reject. I accept Jesus's teachings. I accept Moses's teachings, and I accept Muhammad's teachings.
All right.
They were all prophets.
So Jesus thought he was going to die for the sins of the people. Do you accept that?
I don't think that Jesus died for the people's sin.
But that's what he said he would do.
He said that?
Oh yeah.
Well, is it in the Old Testament or in the New Testament?
It will be in the New Testament. That's what the Injil is, right?
It would be in the New Testament, right? Correct.
Yeah,
Now,
I mean, you asked
who wrote the New
specifically about
Testament?
Jesus.
Who wrote the New Testament? Half of it. It was Paul, right?
Mhm.
Paul was hiding a lot of the Bible from the Christian churches, and then he was killing Christians he hated Christians, but he was also writing half of the New Testament that you believe in.
Yeah,
So
that's why it's because he converted. But here it is, man. We're talking about
well,
Jesus. We're talking
yeah,
about
no. But Paul wrote half of the Testament that Jesus claims to be God in. That was written by a person who hated Christians, and he was not revealing the Bible
hmm.
for up to 40 years to the church. Churches were not getting the Bible. They were not able to read it. It was being hidden from them.
It's okay.
You
We're
don't.
simply going to talk about what Jesus taught, not what Paul taught. We're talking about Jesus right
Okay.
now. Okay, so
Well,
I
Jesus
need you to
taught
focus.
to pray to. Okay.
All right. So according to Jesus, he prophesied that he would die for the sins of the people, and that's what he did. And you guys reject that.
Jesus also said, you said his teachings, right?
Yeah, Jesus' teachings.
His teachings. He says, I'm not good, God is good.
Right now, you are
Only called.
waffling around. I need you,
No.
please. I need you to track to what we're doing here. My whole point is you reject the prophets, and you went out and picked Jesus and Moses. So yeah, and according to Moses' teachings, according to Jesus' teachings, you guys reject them all.
I don't reject Jesus, brother.
Well, I can simply
I
show you.
love
Okay, for
Jesus.
example, go to Mark 8, verse 31 to 33 here. This is Jesus speaking. It is not simply Paul. So I don't know why you. Anyway, you
Well,
guys.
no, Paul wrote it. Jesus just spoke it, and they are passing around what
Oh,
Jesus said, right?
I like that. Okay. All right, so this is Mark 30, chapter 8, verse 31. It says, then he began to teach them that the Son of Man, referring to himself obviously, the Son of Man must suffer for many things and be rejected by the elders, the chiefs and the priests and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed and after 3 days rise again. He spoke plainly about this, and Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. And they go, look, again, just listen. Listen to how Jesus responded when Peter tried to say that Jesus will not die. According to Jesus, it is satanic to think that he didn't die. This is what Jesus said. Verse 33 says, but when Jesus turned and looked at his disciple, he rebuked Peter. This is what Jesus said. He said, get behind me, Satan. He said, you do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns. So Muhammad's teaching that Jesus didn't die on the cross, according to Jesus, that is satanic.
According to Jesus, Muhammad was going to actually come with the next book. You want me to prove it to you? Isaiah 29:11. Pull it up and read it.
I need you to focus, Reg.
No. Isaiah 29:11.
We're gonna get there. I just want to show you that according to what we have so far. So you agree that you reject Jesus.
Okay. Can you go on? I accept Jesus because of what he says in Isaiah 29:11. Can you pull it up?
Did Jesus said that he would die for the sins of the people?
Yes, bro. For sure.
Do you believe that?
This will answer your question.
Do you believe
Isaiah
that?
29:11. My answer
is it Isaiah Jesus? Is it Isaiah Jesus?
No, it's the word of Jesus, right? Like you said.
Again, is it Isaiah Jesus?
It's in the Bible.
Yeah, I see. Right now, I'm focusing on each prophet. We can talk about Isaiah because Isaiah is going to bury you too. So I need you to focus.
Really? So can you bring up Isaiah 29:11?
Yes, after we finish with this, all right? So I want to make sure you understand this. Muhammad is saying that Jesus did not die on the cross. According to Jesus, that is satanic.
According to Jesus, that is satanic.
Yeah.
Not dying on the cross.
Yeah.
Did Jesus say he will die on a cross?
Of course, I just read it to you, bro.
No. He said I'll die, but it didn't say no cross. It didn't.
I'm gonna read it again. Please pay attention, okay?
Okay.
It says, he then began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the teachers of the law, and that he must be killed. And after 3 days, he rise again. So did Muhammad tell that Jesus got killed?
No, he teaches us that Jesus was replaced by someone else.
My point exactly. And according to Jesus on verse 33, he called that satanic.
Jesus called that satanic?
Yeah. So you reject Jesus, man. That was Jesus' man message.
Sir, I already brought up to you how that's in the New Testament and it's written by Paul, but that's fine. We
No,
can move on from
Paul
this.
did
I
not.
want you to
Wait,
bring up,
hold on. Paul did not write this.
this is in the New Testament.
Yeah, but Paul did not write it. The whole New Testament was not written by Paul.
Can we know that if it wasn't?
Yes, we know that he wasn't. If you look the book of Mark, you don't see any. It doesn't even mention Paul. I don't think.
Well, my belief is that it was corrupted, but
What do you mean it was corrupted? Who corrupted it?
I just explained how Paul was not letting the churches even look at the Bible for the first 40 years after Jesus' death and not
Brother,
read it.
what does
They
this
weren't
have to do with Paul? You keep mentioning Paul. I haven't
This
mentioned.
has to do with no. This has to do with Bible being
Paul did not
corrupted.
write this. Again, the book of Luke have nothing to do with Paul.
All right.
All right?
Mhm.
So I need you to understand that according to Jesus, it is satanic to not think that he didn't die. And you are rejecting that, which means you reject Jesus. You don't accept Jesus.
Well, I don't accept the Jesus that you believe that's God. I accept the Jesus that's a prophet. I do agree that I don't accept the same Jesus that you accept as.
So, okay, that's actually a good point. I can work with that. So you are saying that there are two Jesus. Jesus is that what you're saying? That the Jesus that I believe in is not the same Jesus that
I'm
you
not
believe
saying
in.
that there is two of them. I'm just saying, yeah, there's you believe that the Jesus that was on earth was a God, and I believe that he wasn't a God.
Wait,
So,
are we talking about the same Jesus or not?
yeah.
Well, that's a problem. Because we do have Jesus' teachings. And according to Jesus' teaching, he taught that he was God and he taught that he would die on a cross. By the way, I can't hear you when you get off the screen, man. If you want to run and just say that, it's okay.
No. I was just looking up something. I wasn't. What do you mean? I can still hear you when I get out.
But I can't hear you when you say anything.
Oh, this is-
So what are you looking for? Maybe I can help you out, man. Because again, I'm
Well-
not just going to sit here and talk to myself,
Yeah. Okay. Well, I came across the verse when I said Isaiah 29:11 that this predicts how the Quran was revealed to Muhammad, I think.
Brother, this have nothing to do with. Okay. All right. So how about this? Since you want to talk about that so bad, man. Okay. Let's go to it. But I just want you to understand, man. This is something that you should take seriously.
Okay.
If this is Jesus's teachings, and we have him saying that he would die on the cross, that is satanic to not think that he didn't, and you guys believe that he didn't. I think that's a huge issue. So you say Isaiah what?
Well, there's contradictions in that because the Bible says no man can die for another man's sin. It's Isaiah 29:11.
Okay, you want to read it?
You can pull it up. I don't have it up, but I've read it.
I'm just gonna read it for you. I cannot put it out for you either because it's too much work.
Yeah, you can read it.
But Isaiah 29:11. This is what it says. It says, "For you, this whole vision is nothing but words sealed on the scroll. And if you give the scroll to someone who can read and they say, 'Read this,' please," they will answer, "I can't read. It is sealed."
Yeah.
What does this have to do with Muhammad?
Muhammad was in the mountain of Arafah. The Quran was revealed to him. He was illiterate. It was said to read. He said, "I don't know how to read."
But this verse,
This is how it's
again, brother. I literally just emphasized that the word. It says the reason he couldn't read it is because the scroll was sealed. Muhammad cannot read, period. But this guy, the reason he could not read it is because the scroll was sealed.
So he couldn't just unseal it?
But do you see that this is not Muhammad? Do you see that? Because Muhammad couldn't read it at all. I'll read it again for you, bro. Because I like you. I think you're very honest. You're just a little bit misguided. Yeah, because it wasn't ready to be revealed. But I might read it again. I really want you to get this. It says, "For you, this whole vision is nothing but the words sealed in a scroll. And if you give the scroll to someone who can read, and they say, 'Read this,' please, They will say, I can't. It is sealed.
Okay, if we give the Quran to someone before Muhammad and told them to read this, would they understand it without Muhammad's explanation of the Quran?
Of course they would.
No, they wouldn't. How?
Okay. Brother, but do you see this verse does not prove your point? We can't just keep moving around without even establishing the first point. You keep jumping around.
No.
How does this, okay, prove to me that this is Muhammad. Is this Muhammad? Are you serious? The reason this guy can't read this is because the scroll is sealed. That's why he can't read it. Not because he's not learned it or he's stupid, he can't read. But y'all gotta come up with something better, man. This is bad. All you gotta do is read the whole verse. That's all you need to do. Lance, it's not that difficult, brother. It's not that difficult at all. So again, going back to what we're talking. Oh, he ran. Oh my God. You guys gonna keep running on me like that, bro? I can't keep running. Yeah. Yeah, we got to this point where Muslim. I mean, or you simply read the whole verse. That's all you need to do. Not that difficult. Guys, make sure you guys are liking the stream. We got Alisa G up in the building. Says all of Islam is pagan.